What's going on, YouTube? My name Red, and this my channel right here, Red Talks. You know what I'm saying? I pretty much just made this channel to talk about, life stuff, spiritual stuff. You know what I'm saying? And just, real shit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, today I'm pretty much making this video right here talking about, being aware of how spirits are let in. I'm trying to look at the camera. I keep looking on the side, but how spirits are let in and how all that stuff works. I'm gonna be talking about some spiritual experiences that I've had personally myself, and what I pretty much took from those experiences, and how I came to certain conclusions on how spirits are let in. Alright, so I'm gonna just start off by saying I pretty much started seeing spirits right when I was in the military. And I want to say this is about a year into being in the military. I was stationed in Virginia Beach. Now, upon seeing these spirits, right, they would always come and they would be standing right over me, right? Not over me. Like, I've heard of sleep paralysis, and I've heard those stories. I heard people tell those stories, and I've never had sleep paralysis in my life. I've had all kind of spiritual experiences with seeing spirits, hearing spirits, seeing spirits, and seeing angels, even demons, and all type of spiritual experiences. But I've never had sleep paralysis. I don't know why. I don't want to have it, but I always kind of wonder why. But that's not the case. They would always be standing next to my bed and looking over me, though, like just standing next to right next to my bed, usually, right? So I'm gonna just fast forward. I'm gonna say this: every time the spirits would come, my reaction would be to hop up and just start yelling and swinging, just start swinging and yelling, like, you know what I'm saying, like get away from me, you know what I'm saying, all like get out of here. I'd always end up chasing them, and they would always disappear near whatever is the closest mirror, right? They would always come from 2:30 to like 3:30 in the morning, which some of y'all probably heard, so they say that's like the witching hour, where the veils are thin between, these different dimensions and worlds. But yeah, they would always come around that time, and I would swing and they would disappear next to the mirror. Now, some time went by. The first time, I've been attacked, I've been threatened. The first attack I had happened not that long after I started seeing the spirits, right? And this was, I want to say this was like 2015, right? I was stationed in Virginia Beach. This was still fairly new to me, these experiences. But I want to say this might have been the second or third spirit that I seen. It was the first time that I was attacked, and it was like an evil old white lady. And I have a history, coming up, I would have these reoccurring nightmares where I'd have a dream and it would be going normal sometimes, like normal dream, and somehow I would just end up at this lady's house. I would end up walking by her house, at her house, and it was always a different house a little bit. And she would also change, the way she looked will also change a little bit as I got older, and I would have this nightmare less and less as I got older, so where when I really became like an adult, I rarely had that nightmare. But yeah, so, and every time, mind you, every time I see a spirit standing, I would see a spirit. I haven't seen a spirit in a while as well, but every time that I would see a spirit standing next to me, when I wake up, it would always, the energy of the spirit will always match the energy in the dream that I had. So if it was like a negative spirit, a so-called negative spirit, then it would be a kind of negative dream. Or if it was like a cool spirit, it would be a cool dream. Like it would just match the energy. I don't know what that's about, but yeah. So the first time I got attacked, it was the evil old white lady, right? And she See, this is like the second or third time. So right now I'm freaking because the first time it happened, I call my mom's because I ain't know what else to fucking do. I can't call. Like, I'm swinging on it. I can't touch it. I can't touch it. It's just being, every time I would swing, they would just kind of like drift away towards the mirror. Just start drifting towards the mirror. And they wouldn't really walk through the mirror or jump through the mirror or anything. They would pretty much like disappear right next to the mirror. So like they would get at the mirror and they would just start fading away into the mirror, if that makes sense. So now when I got attacked, right, this is like second or third spirit maybe that I seen. It'd be hard to remember sometimes, but at this point, you know what I'm saying, I don't know what to do, you know what I'm saying. You know, my mom at the time, her boyfriend was a pastor, so the first time it happened, I called her, they prayed and all that stuff, but I wasn't looking for prayer really or nothing like that and stuff. I'm like, I'm just more tripping out on why this is happening. I'm like, you know I'm not tripping, but this time I'm like, yo, because I'm like, I woke up and I was looking right at it and shit, or right at her. I was looking at her, right? And I'm like, I'm tripping. I'm like, cause like I said, the energy of the spirit would match the energy of the dream that I would be having. So when I woke up and I see her, I'm like, man, I'm not a morning person, mind you, which is why I get irritated. I start swinging. I'm not a morning person. I don't like being woken up in the morning and all that shit. Yeah, so I'm like, yo, I must be tripping, right? I'm thinking I'm tripping. I'm like, yo, yeah, man, I must be tripping. I roll over. So now I got my back towards the spirit and I'm still laying in my bed. I got my eyes shut for like 20, 30 seconds, it felt like. And I'm like, I'm just in my head, I'm like, because of course I'm startled, but I'm like, I'm like, bro, I'm awake. Like, I'm not tripping, I'm awake right now. I know I'm awake. So I'm like, I roll back around after the 20 to 30 seconds and it's locking eyes with me and it clawed at me. So I'm like, I hop up and I start freaking out on this thing and I start swinging on it and the same thing will happen. It disappeared next to the mirror. Now when it clawed at me, it couldn't touch me. Like I said, I never was able to touch these spirits, but they was never able to touch me neither. And that's pretty much what happened with that situation. So that's the first time that I was attacked by a spirit, you know what I'm saying? And I've also been threatened too. I had a spirit, you know what I'm saying, give me, you know what I'm saying, that hand gesture and all that. It always be the same thing. I get into it with them and they go away, disappear, right? Not all of them were hostile though. Most of the spirits was just wanderers and shit, you know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much that. But so I've seen a couple of demons as well, right? Or what people call demons. You know, I hear these stories, these TikTok stories and all that. I'm not exactly sure if it's I believe the first one I seen had horns. But pretty much like them shadow figures. It's just the silhouette of a shadow. It was long and lanky. But yeah, and it's the same situation, standing right over my bed, not over, but like right next to my bed, looking over me, looking down on me. So yeah, when I seen the first demon I seen, it caught me off guard, of course, and I instantly started swinging on this thing because I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I'm like, same shit, swinging on it, but the difference between the demon and like I've seen one angel, which I would call, some of y'all call angels, light beings, or some of y'all consider these beings extraterrestrial. But I seen one light being angel, whatever. But after seeing this demon for the first demon, I swung on it, but the difference is it disappeared where it was standing. It just disappeared where it was standing, right? And like it didn't need to use the mirror as a portal. I never seen any spirits come out of a mirror, but they would always leave through a mirror. Now this one just disappeared where it was standing, right? So after that situation, I also seen, this is so, the only angel I've seen, this came like, I want to say about a week after I seen this demon, because at this point, I'm really tripping because I don't know why this is happening. This is still, because this wasn't that long after I got attacked that first time. So I'm really tripping out. I'm like, bro, I don't know why this is really happening. I have an idea as to why I was having these experiences now. And maybe I'll get in on that on the later video. Excuse my hair. I gotta get a retwist. This shit is crazy. But yeah, so the angel that I seen, or light being, it came about, I want to say a week after I seen the first demon. And like later on, because to be honest, I swung on the angel too, right? I swung on the angel too. You know what I'm saying? It didn't have wings or anything. It's just a silhouette of a light. It's like a silhouette of light. It was the opposite of the demon or dark being. It was light. So yeah, I swung on it too, because I'm still new to this. All this stuff is still around the time when I first started seeing this type of stuff. So I'm like, I swung on it too. But I do believe that it was there to let me know that everything was all right, just based off of how it came. Because it was different because it came at like, I want to say around like 4:30 in the morning, where the sun was starting to really come up. It was still kind of dark outside, but the sun was starting to come up, one. And two, it was the only time where this being was like on the other side of my room when I woke up. It was on the other side of my room next to my desk. And I believe that it was doing that to not startle me. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I swung on it. I've apologized to this being multiple times, you know what I'm saying, afterwards, when I started really tapping in more into, like, you know, more spiritual stuff and learning more about and really conceptualizing what was going on. But so that happened, and the same thing happened with, just like the demon or the dark being, it disappeared where it didn't have to use the mirror as a portal. It just left. So now I want to speak on the first time that a spirit was able to touch me. And I'm tying all this stuff together because I came to a certain conclusion on how and why certain entities or spirits are able to come into your energy and really affect your energy and touch you and mess with you and do stuff like this. Now, this wasn't a bad or negative. Like I said, most of the spirits weren't really negative or bad. They were really just wanderers, like just random. But yeah, this spirit here, this was at like this was in Florida. We were in Florida at my homie crib, at my homie's mom crib in Jacksonville, because we was on our way to Miami, but we stayed the night there. So I'm just, long story short, me and one of the other homies was sleeping in a common room, a common area. Like, you go upstairs and it's like this common area, and we had 2 blow-up mattresses. I'm on one side of the room, he on the other side of the room. Now there's a bathroom in the common area. With, like I said, they would disappear, and I've never seen them come from a mirror, but I'm assuming they use the mirror as portals to get in and out. The bathroom door was open. Now I woke up again around that time, those times from 2:30. I'm not exactly sure, 2:30 to 3:30. Between that time, I woke up, and this dream that I had before I seen this one was like a pleasure dream. It wasn't really a sexual dream. It wasn't a sexual dream or anything like that. It was just like pleasure. I don't really remember too much about these dreams, but I want to say, like, I even ended up in like a meadow of flowers and stuff. It was weird, but it was like a pleasure dream. And I woke up, and it was like this white ghost lady standing over me, and it freaked me out because it was weird. She was like trying to seduce me or something. I don't know. I think she wanted the bone or some shit. I don't fucking know what was up with this shit. And I ain't gonna lie. I be thinking about it. I be like, I be thinking about it. I be like, I wonder how that experience would have went if I would have entertained. Nah, but on some serious shit, I got freaked out because this being was able to touch me, right? And so it pretty much, long story short, because it's a blow up mattress. I'm on the floor, and it was standing over me. So I'm on the floor on the blow up mattress, and it pretty much took her, well, she took her foot and kind of caressed my leg because my leg was exposed, and she kind of caressed my leg with her foot, and I felt it. Right, this is the first time that spirit was able to touch me, and I like flipped, like I didn't get all the way up and shit. I just like got up, like I was sitting in the bed pretty much. I went from laying down to sitting up, and I'm like I swung at it and like swung at her, and I'm like, you know, like get up out of it. I'm trying not to make noise because we at my mom's or my homie's mom's crib, and these niggas asleep, they sleep, so I'm trying not to make noise and shit like that. And yeah, the crazy part though is it was like the older lady. I'm assuming it's like one of her relatives or some shit. An older lady pretty much came and like grabbed her and took her back towards like the mirror, towards the bathroom where the bathroom door is open, and towards that mirror. And I'm just like waving her off because she's looking back at me like what did I do? Like.
I just wanted to state that she wasn't able to speak to me. None of the spirits that I was able to see, that I've been able to see, were ever able. I've never heard them speak. You know what I'm saying? But those was just the gestures she was making. And I also wanted to state that this same spirit, this same white lady, the homie ended up, I told him what happened the next day, and he ended up telling me that I guess he got a cousin that be spiritually tapped in, I guess you could say, or they be having experiences where he said that he had witnessed a white lady ghost in that same house. And so I'm assuming it's the same ghost. I'm assuming that this spirit is attached to that crib. I just wanted to state that.
What did I do? And then I'm like, did she not know she dead or some shit? Like, or is she a ghost? Like, what the fuck? I'm just like freaking. I'm like, yo, I'm just like just go. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't a negative being. The dream was pleasurable and all of that. And it seemed like she was just trying to seduce me. So, I mean, that was her reaction. And I flipped out because I'm like, what? This is the first time. I'm like, they're not supposed to be able to touch me. But what I took from this shit is I feel like, because I let her in through the dream because I knew it wasn't a hostile being. Even though I flipped out, I knew it wasn't a hostile being. So I believe I let this entity in to my energy through being open to receiving her energy. If that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? Now, from my experiences, I've had plenty of other experiences. From my experience, there's spirits all around us all the time. You know what I'm saying? And our perception on time and space is really kind of distorted the way that we're taught about it, right? Because time and distance, time and space works differently in different places, and I say that because there, you know, I'm not about to get in on talking about dimensions and all that. That's a whole nother topic. But there's spirits all around us, right? But can't no spirit or any being. There's universal laws. You know what I'm saying? And this a being can't just come and interfere with what you got going on in this life unless you somehow let it in. You know what I'm saying? And moral of the story, you gotta let these beings in somehow. There's no reason to be scared. There's no reason. You just gotta know what's going on. You can't be scared of this information. You can't be scared to know that, because this is really normal. They don't really want us knowing about this type of stuff like that. This is normal stuff though. You know what I'm saying? And they got us so, you know what I'm saying, bogged down with all these chemicals and all this stuff that's calcifying our pineal gland and all type of stuff to where we can't really perceive this stuff a lot of the time, but it's always around us. But there's no reason to be scared of it. You really don't need to be scared. I do believe that every time I hear about a demon or what people refer to as demons in these stories, it's the same thing. It never tries to attack. It's just people express how scared they was and all of that. And I think that either these beings, one, aren't always really negative or bad. I'm not no devil worshiper. I don't mess with none of that type of stuff, but I don't look at anything as inherently bad or good. That's a whole nother story as well. I'll probably get in and make a video about that. You know what I'm saying? That's like having a mindset of like all black people are this, all white people are that, all men are this, all women. That's like having that mindset that we be having. You can't. Free will is also a universal law. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's beings that have a certain nature about them. They have a certain nature about them based off of how they was created and with the energy that they was created from and of. But it's still, you know what I'm saying? So it get tricky, you know what I'm saying? But either these beings either know that they can't really, they know what they can and can't do, because obviously it was vibrating at a level to where it could disappear in and out as it please, just like an angel. Y'all be talking about fallen angels. Well, fallen angels are still angels. Vibrating low and high does not the same thing as meaning evil and good. It's not the same thing, because a lot of so-called demons or whatever y'all call is like fallen angels are vibrating higher than you and me. So that's a whole nother topic though, right? Now, I figure it either knows what it can and can't do, and it's pretty much just siphoning your energy, or just, you know what I'm saying, waiting for opportunities, or they really not trying to attack us, you know what I'm saying? But we just, and that's just my perception of it, because, you know, I'm not really a scary type.
Alright, I just want to interject and say that every time that I'm saying you gotta let them in the video, I'm saying that you have to let them in before they can do anything. They can't do anything to you until you let them in. So I'm not saying to let these spirits in if you ever come across any encounters. I'm just saying you don't have to be afraid of any of them, because they can't really affect you until you do something that lets them in. That's all I'm trying to say when I say that. So every time I'm saying let them in, I'm not telling y'all that y'all should let these beings in.
Story out here is never attacking people. It's just either standing in the corner or standing in somebody's room or something, right? Now, you know what I'm saying? This can get tricky. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, moral of the story is, you know, you gotta be aware that you gotta let these beings in. Now, you know what I'm saying? You'll see like scary movies and all that where stuff will happen, like pretty much like to a kid. All a demon gotta do, or a bad or evil spirit, because a lot of times they're just evil spirits, you know what I'm saying? Demons aren't always, or evil spirits aren't always demons, you know what I'm saying? They're just evil, negative spirits, and sometimes, you know, all they gotta do is promise to be a kid friend, you know what I'm saying? To get a kid, because to be honest, you being a kid, and it sound messed up, but it's really not an excuse, because really, to be honest, where we are, we're not able to even live that long in the state that we're in on this planet anymore. You know what I'm saying? So we are pretty young, and it's beneficial to know all this stuff so that you can put your kids on game and you can know how to maneuver here. You know what I'm saying? Because all they got to do is promise to be a kid friend. And, you know, kids get to playing with these entities, and that's how they let them in. Through adults, they might get to you through vanity, through desperation, through, you know what I'm saying, they'll try to break you down, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. These spirits are thirsty a lot of the time, and they'll get in however they can, but you always have to let them in. So you can't be scared, and you can't waver in your abilities. Like, you gotta be in the knowing of how powerful you are here, you know what I'm saying, as a being, as a human being, you know what I'm saying? So you always gotta let them in. That's the moral of the story. There's no reason to be scared. You just gotta be aware. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with spell work, because all of this stuff is the same spirit that makes up anything is connected. So an object, a person, a place, a thing, an idea, all of this is spirit, and it's the same. It's energy. You know what I'm saying? Now, so it's the same thing with spell work. The reason why spell work might work, if somebody doing spell work on you and you don't know, is it because there will always be a sign. There's always a sign. It works better if you are aware of it and you condone it, because the energy flow better. But it'll still affect you if you know it's some bullshit going on with this relationship you in or a situation you in, but you keep making reasons to stick around a certain person or whatever is causing the spell work to happen. you letting it in. So it's like you pretty much giving the universe permission to let it go down. You know what I'm saying? It's like the same thing. Even though you're not verbally like agreeing to let it in, it's still, you know, it's tricky like that. So you gotta be aware of how energy work and what energy is. You know what I'm saying? And energy is spirit. Spirit is just like a pure form of energy. You know what I'm saying? It's a conscious. I'm not getting into all that right now. You know what I'm saying? But that's pretty much the gist of that's the message pretty much of what I'm trying to explain. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's pretty much it. And you know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all rock with the video. You know, you could like and subscribe and all that. I'm really just made this channel just to, you know, see if, you know, like-minded people, hear about like-minded people and hear y'all stories. Go ahead and hop in the comments, tell y'all stories and what y'all think about what I said. No cap in this. You know what I'm saying? All of this is facts, you know, as far as the experiences that I've had, and this pretty much just my perception on what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, all that. And yeah, I might make a part 2 on, because I've had a crazy experience with dealing with like ancestors and letting them in, and that completely, that kind of backfired. It kind of backfired, blew up in my face, right? And became a whole just thing, and it's something that I'm still dealing with right now, and I'm trying to figure out how to deal with these entities and spirits. But I have to talk about that on a whole nother like part 2, because this video already getting kind of long. But yeah, go ahead, and if you rock with it, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, and shit, peace out.